My mother hates me. And not only does she hate me, she despises me. I'll go into the details about why exactly she hates me, but there's one thing for certain. She is not going to let me have a future. She is not going to let me go to college, and she only has one plan for me. I just found out my mom is preventing me from going to college. My mom's honestly never liked me. She says that she loves me and I'm her only daughter, but I feel that she hates me. She constantly behaves in a way that shows that she's trying to compete with me. My mom is the kind of person who takes back clothes that she bought for me because she thinks they look better on her. My mom can refuse to do things for me and find stupid reasons not to. When it comes to my brother, who is 1 year younger than me, she's different. She loves him a lot and spoils him all the time, and according to her, she only spent so much time with him because he was sick when he was a baby, and she's scared that he will become sick again. She was in and out of the hospital with him when I was growing up, and I had to learn how to do everything on my own. Sometimes she would give me a babysitter, but when she did not have money, I had to look after myself. My brother only started getting better when he was about 12 years old. Once he recovered, he enrolled at my school, and while he might have missed a lot of work, he caught up soon. It was very apparent that my brother was super intelligent. He ended up being moved up a grade, and we've been in the same grade since then. He could have graduated a long time ago, but he did not want to go to college without me. I do not have much against my brother Isaac. He's intelligent, quiet, and keeps to himself. Unfortunately, he never gets peace from our mom because she's always spoiling him and trying to spend some time with him. When I asked her to do stuff with me, she does not find time. She tells me that she has more in common with my brother, and it makes me feel like I will never be good enough for her. After finding out what she has done to me, I know now that nothing I do will ever make her happy. She does not love me and does not want me to succeed, and even my friends can see that she does not treat me well. She's even at that point where she can go days without checking up on me. I spent the summer with my aunt. She shipped me there because she did not have time for me per usual, and my brother was lucky enough to score an internship where she works. As for myself, I only got a job at a fast food place, and my mom did not care about that when she shipped me away. So, now there's no way for me to make some pocket money for when college started in the fall. I was also away from the internet, and my aunt has a farm and she does not believe in the internet. While yeah, she's a cool person, I tend to get very bored when I'm at her house, because there's no internet. I cannot check my college admission status, and this week was the first time I was able to check the status of my applications, and to be honest, it's not been looking good. I've been accepted to a college, but it's so far from my family. I wanted to live a bit closer to my family, especially my brother. He, on the other hand, is so much smarter than me and has been accepted to multiple prestigious colleges, including my dream college. I was disappointed to find out that I did not make it. It made no sense to me because my essays were very good and my grades were good. I have a 3.5 GPA. It should have been good enough for college. And when I spoke to my admissions officer, she seemed to have a lot of hope for me. But now it appeared that I had not gotten in, and the only college that I got into was the one very far away. Needless to say, it's been very bleak week. Mom will not stop bragging about my brother who got into 6 colleges, and anybody who will listen has to subject to her bragging. She does not just stop at bragging though, she also puts me down as she does it. She complains about me to her friends, and she wonders what she will even do with me since I'm such a failure. She says that if I were pretty, then at least maybe I would marry well, but no one wants a tall, lanky wife like me. My height is the one thing that my dad gave to me, according to my mom. He forgot to give me good looks and brains, and that's the only time that my mom talks about my biological father. Well, she loathes. My brother, on the other hand, at least has a present father who gave him both looks and brains, and he enjoys this attention so much. I can see that it's a huge ego boost for him. While I'm happy for him, I just wish that my family would be a little bit more considerate. I've been moping all week as I've tried to find ways to get into another college that's closer. I'm stressed right now because I don't want to spend a year with my mom. If my brother's gone off to college, then she's going to be insufferable. I will never hear the end of how her son is so smart, and I'm such a disappointment to her. A year with her would be a year of hell, and I want to be free so I can explore my own potential with her being negative about any chance that she can give me. Now, there's hope for me, at least that's what I thought. I was home alone today. I was bored and I wanted to watch something, but I saw that the streaming platform wasn't loading. I thought maybe it was my Wi-Fi or a technical issue, but when I tried to use it on my phone, it worked. That's when I thought to use her laptop. Her laptop is something that she's okay with me using. That's mainly because I've always kept it up to date for her. When she has a problem that needs to be fixed, she comes to me, not my brother, because, well, I pride myself on knowing a lot about electronics and gadgets and whatnot. So I took her laptop so that I could run a speed test on her Wi-Fi because she was the one logged into the admin portal. As I was doing that, an email popped up in the corner of the screen. I taught her a year ago how to permit browsers to send notifications. I saw my name in the subject line of the email and I read it because I was curious. Now that I think about it, I should have just left it like that. What I found was the most heart-wrenching betrayal ever. It was the worst ever because it turned out that I did get into college, but Mom rejected the offer on my behalf. I've been crying for the past couple of hours, and I'm also waiting for her to provide proof of what she did it to me for. Does she not know that this is the future that she's gambling with? I don't get why she does not want me to succeed and wants to keep me reliant on her. That's the only logical explanation that comes to mind when I think of all the shady stuff that my mom has done to me so far. It's like she does not want me to be independent so that she can always have power over me. I'm done with her and her fakeness. Today, I'm going to confront her for what she did, and am I really her child, or did she adopt me? Those are the questions that have been making rounds in my mind, and I cannot help but feel as if there's a reason why she hates me so much. Even though she is my mom, I wish her peace and no malice so that she can heal whatever it is that she has against me. I've read this email many times, and the content shock me all the time I read it. I cannot believe that she would be so evil. I cannot wait to see her when she comes back so that I can confront her about what she did to me. I'm not going to be merciful at all. Today, she'll tell me why she did it to me, and why did she sabotage my future. Update number 1. I'm done with her. Done. I would rather go back and stay at the farm with my aunt than deal with her for 5 more minutes. And why does she think that she's to bribe somebody to not let me into college? That's right, she only now rejected the space I was offered, but she also paid some admission officers so that I never get into my dream college, no matter how much I appealed. I have just found out now, and I have never felt so unloved in my life. When my mom came back from where she was, it was late at night, and I heard her coming in, but I was too deep in my sleep to wake up and confront her about what she's done. Luckily, I had taken screenshots of the emails because I knew that she has a tendency to deny things. The next morning at breakfast, I pondered asking her. I ended up just blurting it out when she made a comment about me. She said that at this point, no college was going to take me, so it's best for me to just stay at home and be her assistant. She told me that she would be ready for me when I decided to do it. She didn't believe in pressuring me. I'll put that in the very big quotation marks because she's lying. All she wants to do is keep me down and dependent on her. And in the same breath, she started praising my brother and telling him that she was going to buy him new clothes, as if he did not have enough. That's when I snapped. I mean, what right did she have to treat me like a failure when she never even gave me the chance to succeed? I told her I knew exactly what she's done. I know. Well, I even had proof. When she went ahead to try to act dumb, I sent the proof to our family group. I expected her to be shocked or a little remorseful, but instead she gets angry because I looked through her laptop. She said that if she could not trust me, it meant that I was capable of even stealing. I told her that it did not matter how I found those emails. What I wanted to know was why my own mother would sabotage my dreams. Wow. She told my brother to leave and go to his room even though he protested. He was trying his hardest to confront her and be on my side, and the only problem is that his voice is soft and he's scared of her. So there's not much that he can do in terms of defending me. Once he left, she told me that she was tired of pretending. She said that she really did not want me to go to college because I have no future and I'm a loser. She said that I could never compete with her son, who's going to be a star one day. And the only thing that she regretted was that she had to spend $100,000 to make sure that I did not get in. Well, when I heard that, I was shocked. How could she have been willing to spend so much money just to clip my wings? When I looked into her eyes, I only saw hatred. Even as I was crying and asking her why she would do this to me, she told me not to touch her. She told me that she never intended for me to go this far, and well, she said that I was talentless, and that she was the only person in the world who would ever care about me, ever. She also added that if I wanted to leave then I could, but nobody was going to take me in. She told me that I was going to end up like one of those homeless girls who work the streets. I lost my temper, and for the first time in my life I told her how I felt. I called her all sorts of names, and that I only have ever called her in my head. I told her that she's cruel and a bad mother, and she would regret this, and I cursed her for never telling me whether my father was alive or where he was. She told me that my father was a lowlife and as good as dead. I told her that I would rather be an orphan than ever stay with her. That was when she slapped me and called me ungrateful. She told me to go upstairs and not come down until I was ready to apologize, and I'm not going to apologize to her after she sold my dreams like that. She could have used the money to put me through college, but instead she used it to keep me from going to college. I thought I had seen how cruel she was. I thought she just did not like me and preferred my brother, but it turns out that the woman has a very deep loathing of me. That's why I'm not going back home. When she was not paying attention, I took some of my clothes and my gadgets and I left. Luckily, I have a friend whose parents were okay with taking me in. I told them what happened and I showed them the proof of her bribing an admittance officer. They said that they would look into it and see the ways that they could go about handling this. And what she has done is illegal. They're horrified that my own mother would do this to me. Right now, I'm thinking of going back to stay with my aunt, and my aunt is a sweet person, though she does not leave her house much. She lives a self-sufficient life, and I could work on our farm and help her out as long as I have a roof over my shoulder. As for my dreams, what dreams? When I close my eyes and think of my future, I see nothing. It's been 2 months since I turned 18 and my mother disowned me. We reported her for what she's done, but the issue's still being investigated. I've lost all hopes of getting justice, so I'm just going to do what I can to survive. Annie's parents were kind enough to let me stay with them. See, Annie goes to a college not so far away, and I see her when I can. My brother still lives with my mom, and I talk to him here and there. I have also started to search for my father when I'm not doing my internship. Annie's dad managed to score me an internship for IT support, and I've been learning and working there for the past couple of months. The great part is that all is free, and I get a small stipend for the work that I do. I offered to pay rent to Annie's parents, but they refused, and they're such good people. I wish that when they asked me about my mom years ago, I had not lied to them. I think they could sense that the situation at home was toxic, and when I visited their house, they always gave me old clothes that Annie had. They also sometimes bought me new clothes, but would lie and say that they were thrifted. They also used to give me extra food when I was at their house. I will never forget what they did for me as long as I live. So, now I'm focusing on my career and finding my dad. I'm hoping that at least I have one decent parent. By the way, Isaac and I do not share the same dad. Isaac's dad is an army general, and he's on an on-off relationship with my mom, but he supports his son. It often makes me feel bad when Isaac receives letters from his dad who's so proud of him. I try not to begrudge my brother. It's not my fault that he's so smart and lucky in life. Now he's studying medicine, but he's not decided which field he'll be in, and I hope that all goes well for him, and that one day we will be able to have a proper sibling relationship without my mom casting her shadow of doom over us. Update number 3. I've not been able to eat for the past couple of days. Every time that I see food or that someone tries to get me out of bed, I simply refuse. I've only been able to get up today to write this because, well, I finally drank some water and had a bit of soup. I've been sick for the past couple of days and everything hurts, but I don't want to go to the doctor. I don't want to tell anyone what happened to me, and I don't know if I'm sick because of a broken heart or a lack of sleep. Or maybe just self-loathing since I have such a bad blood running through my vein. Now, I get why that woman never loved me. I wish that she had just put me in foster care and never raised me. I can imagine what it might be like to raise a child like me and be reminded of all that my father has done. After a year of searching, I finally found my father. I thought that it would be a happy day for me, and I'd finally get to see what kind of person he is, and I thought maybe he would accept me and take away all the bad memories that I have of my mother. I hoped that seeing him would help me understand things about me, but it turned out to be a disaster. Where can I even begin when it comes to my father? Every time I think about him, I want to cry. Why did I open the box and look for him? I should have just let sleeping dogs lie. So basically, I managed to save up a lot of money from my internship to look for him. He was a difficult man to find. It took me about a year. My father was in a foreign prison, and he had changed his name. The name that I've been looking for him under had stopped being used about a decade ago. In fact, the documents that I found claimed that he was actually deceased. So there I went, grieving for a person who was actually still alive. I tried to find out where he had been buried, but there were sealed records, and I'm not proud of this next part. It appeared that the person who could give me access to those records was somebody who once had a crush on me in high school. His name's Jesse. He was 2 years older than me and a bit awkward, so I spoke to him about my situation, and his asking price was, well, a date. I went into the whole thing with my heart closed. I was on a mission to get information on my dad. I was not there to try to be in a relationship, but the date turned out well. He surprised me. So we went on a couple more, even after he got me the information. Those sealed records claimed that my dad faked his death and changed his name completely. He then relocated to another country because he wanted, and he was not a good man. He was involved in the narcotics and gun trade, and he also abused my mom and nearly killed her. She had to have multiple restraining orders against him, and he was arrested for his crimes but managed to actually fake his death and flee to another country. By some miracle, they were still able to find him, although he was under another name. They found out that he was working as a fixer for a very dangerous man. They caught him in action and arrested him, and he has so many crimes on his record, both petty and serious. He was a violent alcoholic who abused multiple women in his life, not just mother. Basically, he was sickening and the scum of the earth, and when I read about him, I was sick to my stomach. Everyone told me, not to go and see him because he was a bad person, so you think that I listened to them? No, I did not. I wanted to look him in the eyes and ask him why he did what he did. I wanted him to know that my life had been terrible because of him. He's never sent me a letter or acknowledged that I was his daughter. How about the fact that I was born prematurely because he hit my mom and she went into labor? I wanted to look him in the eyes and see a bit of remorse. Someone had to apologize for all that I went through, and the person was him. So I spent my savings to travel out of the country and see him, and I was heavily disappointed when I saw him. I will not repeat the things he said, but basically he told me to leave him alone, because I've wasted time on him, and when I told him how my mom treated me, he told me that he never wanted me in the first place and felt that I should not have survived. To say that I was traumatized would be an understatement. I was so overwhelmed that I could not even hold my breakfast. He laughed at me and told me that I was just a failure like him. He advised me to kill my mother because she was still such a shrew. As soon as he said that, I came out of there running. I could not believe that he said things like that about me. No wonder my mom hated me and never wanted to tell me where he was. I so wished that she had just given me away. I wished that I never knew either of my parents, and ever since I came back from my trip, I've been so anxious and so scared. Nothing feels real anymore. So, I do not really want to eat. Well, I don't want to talk to anybody. What is even the point of all this? Don't worry about me though, I'll be fine. I've been treated badly for all of the 18 years of my life. What my father did to me is not new. Update number 4. There's a woman who just contacted me and she's told me that she is my father's sister. I've never met her before in my life and I saw her name when I was investigating him, but there was not that mention of much information about her. I've been texting her for the past couple of days. Talking to her has made me feel so much better. I'm eating now, and I went back to work this week. She's incredibly kind and says that she's glad I'm alive. My mom's been ignoring her for years, so she assumed that I just never made it. She wants to see me in a couple of days so that we can discuss the way forward. I don't want to raise my hopes, but I think I finally have a family member who cares about me. Finally, after years of trying to follow up on what my mom did to me, she's been caught. The admission officer who took her bribe was involved in another scandal, and upon further investigation proved that she was working with my mom all those years ago. I received an apology from the university and an offer to study, but to be honest, I'm good. That's because in a couple of months I'm moving, and my aunt and I have formed a very special bond, and she wants me to move in with her. I'm doing well with my IT training, and I have a job interview in a couple of weeks where she stays. Even if I get the job or not, she's going to allow me to stay with her. She is the opposite of both my dad and my mom. She's selfless, kind, and encouraging. She has visited me the past couple of months, and she's even been renting an apartment for me. She gets along with Annie's parents and has shown gratitude that they have taken such good care of her. I've moved out of their house months ago, but have been living in a very small apartment. But my aunt fixed all of that. She's an executive manager at a very big company, and she does not have kids of her own, which is something that saddened her for years. So she wants to take care of me and make up for what her brother did. She feels so guilty because she had a chance to stop him or get him arrested, but because he is her younger brother, she could not bring herself to do it. She told me that she has not seen him for years and she only talked to him when he contacted her to tell her that I was alive. She says it's only the good thing that he's done for years. So while he might be corrupted beyond redemption, at least I have my aunt who cares for me very deeply apparently, and will make sure that my life is good from now on. Update number 5. Hey guys, it's been several months since I moved in with my aunt and I've just gotten a call from my brother and things are not looking good for my mom. After she got caught for what she did, she was arrested. There was a lengthy court case and she was given 30 days in prison as well as a steep fine. She came out of prison and she found out that she had lost her job. It turned out that over the years, she's been treating the employees that she managed very poorly, and when she was arrested, they felt braver to come out and expose her abuse. As soon as she gets out of prison, she lost her job, and my brother stopped talking to her then because it started to set in that she was not a good person. I'd already told him the story of who my father was. He was one of the people who supported me throughout, and he even apologized for not being there for me because he was scared of mom. So Isaac stopped talking to her, and she spiraled down into a drinking of a lot and partying at her age. She was the talk of the town, and when people tried to intervene, they were not able to because she would attack them. She started to have blackouts, felt behind on her bills, and got her car repossessed, and the only thing that she had was her house and a lot of debt. She then contacted my brother, begging him to get his dad to bail her out of the situation, but he was already done with her, so he ignored her. He was already staying with his dad, who had just retired, so she was all alone and she spiraled into a deep depression. That's how last night she jumped off of a building. She's in the hospital now, fighting for her life in critical care, so I have to leave everything and go support my brother, who's blaming himself for what happened. But she did this to herself. She tried to clip my wings, and now it seems to have backfired on her. Well, now I have a very good job and I'm earning well, and I have a positive mother figure. I'm going to go and see her, but I will not stay long. I don't owe her anything. Final update. Hey guys, I didn't think I was going to update, so just a quick one. She was able to survive the fall, but the cost of her body. Her bones, almost all broken, and she had to stay in the hospital for months. I only visited her once and only gotten updates from my brother since then, so basically she'll never be able to walk or use her hands again. Her brain, it's still functioning and she can still talk, but with great difficulty. When she gets out of the hospital, she had the nerve to ask me to move back in with her and take care of her. I told her where to get off. With how much I hate her, I would never be able to do a good job of taking care of her. What am I going to do is focus on my life without her. She is as good as dead to me, and her golden son also has had enough. He sold her house and sent her to a home where they would take care of her. He told me that he barely even visits her. It might have taken years, but karma sure dealt with her. So this story turned pretty sad pretty quickly. I will agree with some of the commenters. They felt remorse. They were actually pretty sorry for OP's mother when she tried to end her life by jumping off the building, but this is where the comments start to differ. Some of the commenters were saying how OP should have forgiven her mother and just went to help her, but a lot of them were also saying no, she doesn't have to forgive her mom. She was treated poorly her entire life, and it's not her fault that her mom tried to end it all. So I do want to hear from you guys. Which side of those perspectives are you on? Let me hear your opinions and your comments downstairs in our comment section. If you're new to the channel, my name's Mr. Reddito. I narrate stories like this every single day. Inheritance dramas, in-law disputes, cheating stories, Karen in the wild, bridezillas. We have it all! Guys, once again, thank you for joining me. Smash that subscribe button. I'll see you tomorrow. And remember, it's cool to be kind. See ya.